How many of these famous presidents' faces do you remember as candidates that were defeated? If you guessed 3, you are right. They were Nixon, Bush, and Jefferson. Recognize this man as a United States president? His name was Samuel Jones Tilden. He was elected president by more than 250,000 popular votes in the centennial year of 1876. But you and I both know that American history teaches us that Rutherford B. Hayes was our 19th president. With Tilden, a Democrat, having 50.97% of the popular vote and Hayes acquiring 47.95%, the Democrats promptly claimed victory for Tilden. But even though they were right, they discovered they were wrong. The Constitution and this Congress, controlled by a Republican majority, changed the rules. With 19 Electoral College votes in dispute, the majority-ruling Republican Congress took action and set up a commission to validate the returns. For 4 months, while they twisted every rule in the Constitution to their favor, rioting and anarchy broke out between the American people, nearly recreating a second Civil War. Congress, for the first time in the history of America, left the country without a president. Time passed and chaos continued all across the country. The commission finally made their decision and voted strictly along party line. They chose Hayes with an 8-7 vote against Tilden in the Democratic Party. Rutherford B. Hayes, with the one disputed Electoral College vote in his favor, officially became the 19th President of the United States. How he attained that victory would make this election one of the most controversial in America's history.
Hello, my name is Garrick Newman, and I'm telling you just some of the history behind an election and a man who still reflects on Americans' lives and policies to this day. Before his death, Mr. Tilden bequeathed his lucrative estate for the benefit of future generations that he knew would follow him in their quest for education. The glorious New York Public Library was one of his legacies. A lover of books, he had a vision of where his collection should end up and how others like himself would greatly benefit from the literary knowledge. Mr. Tilden, more than anything, loved the people and his country. Another famous historical landmark was his mansion in Gramercy Park. It was sold in auction to the National Arts Club after his death to raise money for the library. It still remains beautifully intact, displaying the artwork of famous artists worldwide. So why is it that we know so little about Samuel Jones Tilden? Is it because he was a presidential candidate that lost an election? Or did he? Deep in history lies many more secrets about this great man of integrity, much more than I can describe here in this short presentation. And what about other past presidential candidates? Why did they lose their elections? Was it campaign funding, their political party, or the Electoral College vote? The Constitution requires that in each state the people will vote for their electors, and that that person elected shall not hold an official office. When was the last time, if ever, you remember the elector that you voted for from your state? Now remember, Tilden lost his election by just one disputed electoral vote. The truth uncovered and documented by one of 3 electors from Oregon, E.A. Cronin, tells a completely different story. What actually happened after Mr. Cronin left the room with the elector's certificates, 1 for Tilden and 2 for Hayes, is what turned the 1876 election chaotic. Mr. Cronin sent his certificates to Washington, not knowing that the other 2 electors were going to submit a second set of votes, which gave all the electoral votes to Hayes, allowing him to win the presidency by the one disputed vote. I think we, the voters, deserve to know the whole truth about our presidential candidates and how they win their elections. Have they won by the people's vote or the elector's vote?